Welcome to this introduction on how to replace the mechanical shaft seal on a pump type CNL 8080-200. For your convenience, please find the instruction manual on our homepage www.ironpump.com. For your safety, please be certain the motor is switched off and there's no pressure on the pump. First, you have to remove the two coupling guards. This can be done after unscrewing the 4 bolts. Next, loosen the 8 balls in the pump casing. The remaining 2 balls hold the casing cover and the motor foot into place. To secure correct final assembly, mark the edges of the motor flange, the motor foot and the pump casing. Now you can remove the motor flange and the complete rotating element from the pump casing. You can place the entire element in a cradle or similar to keep it steady. Now you can unscrew the bolt securing the impeller. To protect the thread in the shaft, place another bolt with a center hole. As the impeller is fitted tightly into the shaft, remove the impeller with a puller. When you have removed the impeller, you can detach the puller. Also, you can remove the protection bolt from the shaft. Next, you can remove the worn shaft seal from the shaft with a screwdriver. Loosen and remove the 4 bolts in the motor flange. Keep 1 bolt holding the cover into place until removing. Now you can remove the motor foot from the motor flange. When placing the motor foot, let the cover be facing upwards. Now you can remove the O-ring with a screwdriver. Next, turn over the motor foot. And you can remove the stationary shaft seal with a screwdriver. Now loosen the 2 Allen screws in the motor coupling. Then pull the motor coupling off the shaft and place it in the impeller. Unscrew the 4 bolts in the motor coupling. Now separate the motor coupling and the shaft. Make sure the shaft is not damaged. Before reassembling the motor coupling, wipe it clean with a clean and dry cloth. Now reposition the 4 bolts in the motor coupling and tighten them. Add grease to the shaft with a small brush. Now you can put the motor coupling back onto the shaft, but do not tighten the bolts yet. Wipe the surfaces of the pump cover with a clean and dry cloth. Next, you can reposition the motor foot on the shaft. Make sure to align the marks on the motor foot and the motor flange. Tighten the 4 bolts in the motor flange to hold the motor foot in place. Now place the O-ring onto the cover. Add grease to the black edge of the stationary shaft seal and press it into the cover. Wipe excess grease off the shaft seal with a clean dry cloth. Use alcohol if necessary. Next, add liquid soap as lubricant onto the inside of the mechanical shaft seal and place the mechanical shaft seal onto the shaft. Add grease to the shaft. Now place the impeller onto the shaft. Add Locktite to the bolt holding the impeller into place. And tighten the bolt. Now you can raise the entire element to an upright position. Next, add grease to the O-ring. Now you can place the entire element back into the pump casing. For correct assembling, be aware to fit the markings of the motor foot and the pump casing. When installed properly, reposition the 8 balls into the pump casing. Tighten the bolts properly with an Allen key. To ensure the correct space, use a spacer tool measuring 4 mm or a drill equally 4 mm thick. To ensure free rotation of the impeller, place the spacer tool in between the motor coupling and the pump cover. Now you can tighten the 2 bolts in the motor coupling. And then remove the spacer tool. Make sure the motor coupling has free rotation after the tightening of the 2 bolts. Finally, reposition the 2 coupling guards and you're done.